How are y'all making it?
The amount of 18 to 30-year-olds that I see on this app bitching about how unaffordable life is.
I need like $12,000.
The cost of living, y'all. We're all dealing with it some way, somehow. Some more than others. You know, the ones that are really getting hit hard, I feel like there's a common denominator with them that they don't really get into it, that I wish they would get into it. But I'm going to give you my 2 cents along the way. I'm not going to talk too much, right? But let's have some fun today, y'all. Let's get into it. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
What am I doing wrong? I work every day and I'm still broke. Like, I have a decent job. I make some decent money, but I live out here in Cali. Like, bro, as soon as I get paid, I have all these bills stacked up, bro, that shit wipes me clean. Like, fuck, I got no money left over. Making $100,000 a year doesn't get you anywhere nowadays.
I think he's got to move out of California. I think that's what the problem is. You do that, you'll be surprised how freeing life will be.
Moving to Houston, moving to Texas, any other type of state, guys, like, fuck that. I'm not gonna fucking move there.
All right,
There's
man.
gotta be a
Don't
better
complain.
way for me to make more fucking money, or the things that cost so much money need to go fucking down. One or the other.
I need like $12,000 because there's just like a lot of stuff that I like really want to buy online and I can't like afford it all. Like, I want to buy this cute lingerie and it's not even like for me. Like, I don't have a partner. I just like want it for myself and I can't afford it. And I just need like $12,000 for that and other stuff.
Living in California.
So if I'm going to give you my hard-earned $12,000, like, here, I see you're in pain. Here's $12,000 to get you through life for a little bit. You're going to go spend it all on junk, right? These are the common denominators that I was talking about that we're going to get into more and more and more.
Ridiculous. Let alone raising a family in California. We genuinely can't afford a home that would fit our entire family of 6. And if it's not the homes that are getting you, then it's your utilities that are randomly just starting to double. And if it's not the utilities, then you can bet your grocery bill is probably going to do it to you. It's like climbing this uphill battle that you'll never win. Luckily, me and my husband, we're on the same page, so we're leaving California. But how do people do it here? Because you can't save money here. And unless you're some millionaire, you're living paycheck to paycheck no matter what you do. I lived here all my life, and it's sad that I have to leave because it's just impossible to make it here. And then we have our parents' generation telling us, oh, you just need to work harder. It's not the same. Our money now does not go as far as the money back then, no matter what they say. It's just genuinely a struggle, and I don't get it.
Unfortunately, you have to leave your state. I did. Out in Arizona, Arizona's becoming like California, y'all. Expensive. A $200,000, $300,000 house out here where I'm at now is a mansion. A $200,000, $300,000 house in Arizona, you're in a very terrible area where there's crime everywhere, right? It's not going to get you far no more. I had to get out of there. Sometimes you just have to make that move. Nothing you can do about it unless you want to sit there and be miserable, or you got to go somewhere else.
Everyone's telling us, like, you just need therapy, like, you're depressed. And it's like, no, we're broke. Because why is everything so fucking expensive? Like, I moved to a different city. My auto insurance went up like $20. I don't know why. I called them and I was like, why did this go up? And she was trying to figure it out. And I was like, I also need to update my address because I just moved. And she goes, okay, with your address updated, you live in a higher risk area now. Surprise. So she said it's going up $120 a month.
Oh, 120. She said 20 earlier.
I was going to figure out why it went up $20 and then she made it go up more.
Oh.
And I said, please don't do that. I can't afford it. And she said, I can't change it. And we're not depressed. We're broke. We're broke.
I am so tired of living my life in survival mode because despite having 2 college degrees and making close to $80,000 a year, I still cannot keep up with the cost of living. I still cannot afford all of my bills every month and have to live paycheck to paycheck. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. I am sacrificing my mental health, my time, and my energy to take care of people in their most vulnerable moments. And a lot of the time, they do not make it. At the very least, I should be able to pay my bills. And for anyone who's thinking, oh, well, you shouldn't have chose that job. Somebody has to do it. And you know damn well if your loved one was critically ill, you would want somebody to take care of them, right? Something has to give. I cannot keep doing this.
In case you don't
That's one big problem, y'all. Student loan debt. Debt to begin with. That's the number one thing why people are making these videos. They all have extraordinary debt, right? There's no reason why you're making $80,000 and you're living paycheck to paycheck. Either you got crazy debt or you're spending your money wrong. Highly suggest get on a budget. I use the Every Dollar app, right? Dave Ramsey's app. It's free. Of course, you can pay for premium, but just put where all your money's going. You find out real quick, like, damn, my money's getting wasted.
just how bad the economy is, no one is buying anything anymore. Oh wait, sorry, not no one. Actually, half of all consumer spending for the first time in history is just the top 10% of American households. You know what that means? Our economy is literally held up by wealthy people because they are the only people who can afford to buy shit. And by the way, this doesn't mean that wealthy people are so amazing because they're helping our economy grow. No, why do you think they're the only people that can afford anything? Don't even get me started on the ultra wealthy people, because get this, since the 1980s, billionaires' wealth has grown by 4,500%, while wages only grew by 15%. And while workers' wages only grew 15%, rent went up 400%. College tuition went up 1,200%. Groceries went up 300%. So who's benefiting here? And here's a hint, it's probably not you. It's probably not your family. It's probably not your friends. So why are you defending them so hard? Oh, I think I'll be a billionaire one day, is what you say to yourself. Get the fuck over yourself.
Hey, Raph, I'm a teacher and I can barely afford to pay rent with my salary. My salary bi-weekly is basically my rent minus $500. Guess how much my car is? $400. Guess how much insurance is? $100. Oh, yeah, that's right. You do the math. I'm left with owing money at the end of the month. That's not even with groceries. Holy that's not even with groceries. I realize every single month I am transferring money out of savings into my checking, and I am not. Just had the realization in the car that I'm actually gonna go into debt if I continue being a teacher. Like, genuinely. Wow. Oh, I'm like literally having a crisis right now. I'm gonna have a panic attack right now. I can't do this. I literally cannot do this. Knowing every single month that most of my money is literally like, I don't have money. Okay. I don't know how I'm gonna pay off my credit card this month. I don't know. All right. Well, rats, peace and blessings. And I hope you can afford your rent today and groceries and.
That's the problem, y'all. Car payment. $500 right there. $500 that would free up a month for you. How much better would life be for her? Let's say 450, right? Buy you a nice car, sell that car. Probably in the hole with it, because that's how cars are. They're selling them out of they're ripping you off at the car dealership, and then when you try to go sell it back to them or sell it online, you're in the hole $5,000-$10,000. So she probably can't sell it. But that's your problem. These are self-inflicting wounds, right? You didn't need that car. You could have went and bought you a nice one cash or got a loan for $10,000. $10,000 is a lot more than $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. You can pay that off a lot faster. Your payment wouldn't be $500, but you could pay it off or go buy you one cash just until you get on your feet. And that would free up $500 for her, $450 a month. How much better would life be for her if it's the debt, y'all? That's the problem. It's the debt you're in. That's why they're making these videos. It's not the cost of living. Yes, the cost of living is high, but imagine if you got rid of your credit card debt, your car payment, student loans. I'm not going to tell you, no, I wouldn't do it. I'm not a school person, right? But car payment and credit card debt, take that away. How much better would life be?
Insurance and life. Bye.
I'm tired, yo. I'm tired of another Christmas going by and I'm alone. I ain't got no money to give people no
I've
gifts.
been there.
Man, this shit is the worst feeling ever, yo. No matter how much you really care about Christmas or whatever, it's not even about that. It's about just showing people you care, showing people you appreciate them. Sitting around a Christmas tree and having to apologize for not being able to get gifts is one of the worst feelings out there, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. And I'm just so tired of it. So to anybody else that's feeling that way, let this be the last year that happened. We got.
Now, it just sucks that, especially here in America, like the gifts are such a big thing, more than anything in Christmas, you know? Like gifts are just that's what Christmas is to a lot of people. When it's really supposed to be just hanging out with family, eating, sharing laughs, sharing memories. Because at the end of the day, those gifts you got, whoever, they're not going to remember that when they're older. They're not going to remember like, oh, my uncle bought me a remote control car. They're going to remember, man, remember when we were outside throwing the football and playing catch, or we were playing whatever, playing this board game. That's what they're going to remember in the long run. Short term, they're going to get that dopamine hit, and be like, man, I got this gift, yes. But 10, 15 years from now, when that young child is 15, 16-year old, they're not going to remember that gift. They're not going to have the gift. So that sucks that that's what society makes us feel like this is what's worth it, right? You see all the Instagram posts of your friends and all that in front of the Christmas tree, and there's presents everywhere. Like, Christmas is a tough time for some people. Y'all, it was tough for me for a while. I spent Christmas alone a lot, y'all. Of course, I went to my family's house, but at night when you're home alone, Christmas Eve, when you're home alone, those are tough times while you look on social media and you see everybody out with their family, with their boyfriend. You go get some food at the store and you see people out with their significant other. Like, that's tough, y'all. Like, the single game is tough. And, I'm thankful I got out of it. I didn't think I was ever going to get out of it, but stay strong, my brother. Stay strong. It'll come.
I love my house. I'm going to start off by saying that. I love this house. When I was home shopping back in 2021, I chose this house on purpose. The only way I can describe it to people was that it's a house full of love, and you could feel it when you walked in the door. As soon as I walked in the front door of this house, I knew this was my house. I knew it. It sounds completely insane, but maybe you understand that when I walked in, I knew it was mine.
Yep, that's true.
And I do love this house. I love everything about this house. But I've come to the realization that I can't stay here because I can't afford to. And it's not that I can't afford the house payment. It's because there's so much wrong. I got a home inspection that wasn't worth the paper it was written on. And if you look back in my TikToks, I've done videos about the multiple things wrong at this house before. It has just been one thing after another, and the list of things that I have to fix is tens of thousands of dollars long. And me as a single person with one income, I can't afford to do all of this on my own. And it makes me really sad because when I bought this house, this was supposed to be my forever home. This was supposed to be my, I'm going to be here until I die or go to the nursing home. And I can't afford to stay here. I don't even know what to advise people. Like, people ask me, what do you recommend for people buying their first house? I have no idea, because I also have friends who bought brand new homes that have issues. The one thing I would say is to just be financially and mentally prepared for the fact that owning a home can completely financially ruin you. And that's where I'm at today. This house has quite literally bankrupted me. And I'm devastated because I love this house. But unless I win the lotto or marry a rich husband, there's no way I can possibly fix all the things wrong here. So anyway, that's all I got. Happy holidays.
I don't understand people that have all these house problems. Knock on wood, but I've owned 3 houses in my life. Not owned, right? I lived in 3 houses in my life, and not once have I had major issues, right? You get the occasional water heater, I know things happen, but when you move into a house, never buy a house when it's as is, right? My grandma just sold her house. That house was old. Sold that house as is, and somebody came and bought it for 350,000, right? Now, before the pandemic, that house was probably worth 90, 80,000. It's in the hood. It's in the ghetto. It's my grandma's house. I went there when I was little, right? It's not a nice area. But somebody moved in, bought it as is. That's, I don't know, is that what people are doing? Because every house I've ever gotten, you need to get an inspector. Yeah, the inspectors, you have your comments about them, whatever, but you got to get an inspector. Those things got to get fixed, or else you're not buying it. Or it goes into the negotiation that this closing cost is going to pay for those fixes, right? And then when I'm in the house, I get a home warranty, right? You pay this certain amount. I've never had a headache with my home warranty. I've had my garage fixed. I've had my water heater fixed. I've had some electrician type things fixed in my, you only got to pay $75 for them to come out and fix it. For a brand new garage, thing that costs like 400 or 500 bucks, did it for 75. Like, you have to get these insurances, y'all. You have to, if you're getting a house. Like, never move into a house that's sold as is. Like, I don't know if that's what her problem was, but like, I see these people that their transmissions are going out and they need a brand new engine. I'm like, what are you doing to these cars? I have never had problems like that. But you see these people that hit, pedal to the floor, and yeah, you're gonna have a problem going uphill, and they're going 80 miles an hour uphill. Like, I guess people just don't take care of their stuff. I don't know, y'all.
A dead horse, but it's getting real unaffordable out here, and I have no idea what to do about it or what can be done about it, because it just feels like we're all on a runaway train, or a lot of us, not all, are on a runaway train that no one has control of. I go to the grocery store and, to get personal care items and cleaning products and all that kind of stuff every week or every 2 weeks, because that stuff runs out and you have to go back to the store and get it, obviously. And I buy roughly the same stuff. Like, I'm a creature of habit and cook the same recipes, buy the same products, and the dollars just are not stretching the way that they used to. And so it's turning into a situation where I'm having to use my credit card, and I'm swiping my credit card a lot more, whereas I used to try to just use my debit card and get out of that habit of using my credit card so that I use money that's actually available. But it's just like, the money is just not there. The money is not there because everything is just seemingly so much more expensive. And I'm freaking out a little bit because, yeah, the debt is piling up and there's no
Common
end in
denominator.
sight. Obviously, it's well, find a second job, or, find a alternative source of income. And that's just easier said than done, especially when you work full time and your job is demanding. There's just there's not a lot of time to do that. Not that I'm not willing to do that. I have done that. I've picked up retail jobs on the side, throughout my entire career. I'm tired though. And I feel like the stress of my job, which is already can be stressful at times, and then the stress of figuring out how to survive, and the stress of managing debt and all of that stuff has contributed to my health issues over the years. Because if you don't follow me, just go back on my page and you'll see just I have so many things that have happened to me over this year, but just over the last several years, which then accumulates into even more debt, because it's you have medical bills and blah, 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 blah. Even though I have health insurance, health insurance never covers 100% of everything. So I don't know. It's I come on here every month, I feel and have an existential crisis about finances and life, and digging myself out of this hole at 32 years old, and just being able to breathe and be a woman and do things I don't know. I did do a lot this year because I was I can't keep missing out on stuff and saying, oh, I'll do it next year, I'll do it next year, I'll do it next year. I hate being that person. But I don't know. Maybe that wasn't the right decision. It's I always am things are going to work itself out. Money comes back. Things always do have a way of working themselves out.
Yeah, they do.
It's just hard to see that in the moment. And I wish there was just a more of a concerted effort. This is not partisan at all. Like, this is not a political opinion, but as a citizen, like, I just wish that there was something being done on a level that's above me to help us out down here. And that's to whoever, doesn't matter, whatever side it is, I don't care. It just, like, because we need help. A lot of us need help. And I don't know where we're gonna get that help or what's gonna happen. Like, is 2026? I'm not excited to go into 2026. I mean, I am. Like, don't strike me down. But if it's gonna be like this, then I don't know. I don't know.
See, this is where the older generation says work harder, right? She wants a handout. She wants the government to give her a handout. Y'all, you know what I used to do? I used to go door to door. Door to door. This is an easy way for anybody out there to make an extra $1,000 a month. Probably working about 20 hours a month, 30 hours a month, right? Go online, go on your city, right? Let's just say I'm in Goodyear, cityofgoodyear.com, and look up the trash pickups every in all the neighborhoods around you. Look up their trash pickups, right? Let's just say their trash is picked up on Wednesday, okay? Go make you 500 business cards. You probably get that done for 25 bucks. 500 business cards. Go door to door and say, hey, I'm offering to clean your garbage can, get rid of the stench, whatever, sell yourself. $25, y'all. That's not breaking the bank. But off of 4 houses, think about how many houses are in that neighborhood. 500? You're going to get 4 out of those 500 every single day. If you go out there, the garbage is picked up every day in every neighborhood. There's a garbage day near you every single day of the week. You go knock on 100 doors, you'll get 4 of them, right? And pressure wash. You know how long it takes to pressure wash a garbage can? 15 minutes. 15 minutes, you'll make 25 bucks. On to the next one. Boom. Like, there's ways, y'all. There's way. That's why the older generation says work harder. Like, the retail, I'm gonna go get another a job at Walgreens and and retail and waste 20 hours of my week, 20, 40, 80 hours of the month when you can go out there on your own. Like, I know with my sons, when they're older, we get bad dust storms out here. Bad dust storms, right? I'm going to take them out. Let's go, get a blower, go knock on their door, say, hey, I'll blow your yard out for 20 bucks. Because you drive down the street, these people ain't blowing their yards, or their women's out there blowing their yards when the man's inside. I see it all the time. Or there's just dust that piles up knee high. Let's go knock on some doors. Let's start learning now, right? Let's start blowing. There's ways to make money out there, y'all. There's a lot. Thrifting, bulk trash, going through garbage. And I used to resell garbage out the trash. I would go find a seated elliptical, y'all. Those are expensive. Find it in the trash can, quick $100 flip for free. $100 profit. There's ways to make money out there, y'all. You just got to not be lazy.
I honestly have no idea what to do anymore. I'm sitting here. It's almost midnight. I've been scrolling for hours, just looking for jobs, like extra
That's your
jobs. I work
problem,
2
man.
jobs right now, and I feel like I can't even afford, what I'm trying to pay for. My rent's so expensive. I go to the grocery store today. I get bread, peanut butter, jelly, and milk, and it comes out to almost $18. $18 for sandwich ingredients without any protein and milk. I mean, my phone bill's expensive, gas is expensive, and I'm just like, man, I'm a 28-year-old. I'm out here in Oregon, and
Bro,
I honestly don't even know
Oregon?
what to do.
Oregon?
Something needs to change. Something must change very, very fast, or I honestly, I don't know if I'll be able to survive this. I've talked to many people. They're in the same boat. So I want to use this page as a place for people to come support each other and just, hopefully get through this together, because I know it's not just me. We're in this together. It's going to be okay. But we really got to ride this out together.
99%.
Oregon, bro, you know what you can do in Oregon pressure washing? When water hits sidewalks, roofs, fences in Oregon, that water doesn't dry up. It builds life, algae, gunk. And that's on people's there's so much people doing pressure washing out there, y'all. Out here in the desert, I pressure washed some driveways, right? Knock on a door to do a garbage can for $25, ended up making $150 on that one house. And that's in the desert, y'all, where there's no light. It's just tire marks, really. But out there in Oregon, see what yeah, now I'm starting to see why the older generation says work harder. Cause you can't rely on working two. If you're working two jobs, quit one and go knock door to door. Guarantee you'll make more than that job in 1 month. Guarantee it.
Complaining about the cost of living just don't understand the world we live in right now. We use the internet for everything. You're using it right now watching this. You use it to pay your bills. You use it to do your shopping. You use it for everything. When it's time to make some money, what do? You hop in your car, pretend it's 1982, and drive down to an office. You don't use the internet to make a living.
Yep.
The business you work at might use the internet for things, but you specifically, you don't use the internet to make a living or earn any kind of income. So tell me how that makes sense. You spend every waking moment using the internet. Your eyeballs are looking at something that is on the internet. But when it comes time to make a living, you are working offline, away from where everyone's attention is. At that point, you're refusing to use the internet to make an income. Therefore, no wonder you can't afford anything. Now, am I saying every person on earth should just drop what they're doing, quit their job, and use the internet to make a living? No, obviously not. That fantasy world doesn't exist where everyone would want to do that. However, a lot of people would be able to afford a lot more things if they did. And even if this isn't the proper or correct solution, it's a better solution than sitting there and complaining into the void about it, because the people who can actually change these things or make life more affordable for you, yeah, they don't care. I prefer to focus on things that I can actually control, but that's just me.
Like, especially, you don't have to use the internet to make money, but you can use it to make money, right? If you're doing garbage cans, film TikToks of it, right? You know how much I looked for a dog groomer on TikTok. I looked for I got my girl a spa day. I don't know no spa days out here. I went on TikTok and looked up best spa in my city, and there it is. I went over there, bought it, right? I want to get my artificial grass cleaned. I went on TikTok. I found somebody. They're going to do it. You can use the internet to build your business, especially nowadays. Hashtag whatever city you are in, put the location in your city, and you're going to get local people that are going to see your garbage can cleaning. And you'd be surprised, y'all. Get on that garbage can. You can go buy a pressure washer at Walmart. Good pressure washer, 2000 PSI electric for like 150 bucks. There's your business. Buy some Purple Power. They sell a big gallon of it for like $3 or $4. There you go. There's your business. $155 out the door and you started a business. You'll make that $155 back in 1 day if you go knock on enough doors. Because believe me, people do say yes.
Y'all, I just went today and got my driver's license renewed, my car tags renewed, picked up 2 prescriptions, and got a few groceries. To say that I'm completely broke now is an understatement. So I'm going to have to go home and start selling off my furniture to be able to live the rest of the month. I mean, that's just, it's unbelievable. No, I'm not gonna, that's just a joke. I'm not gonna have to sell anything, and I'm thankful to God that I am able to do those things. And my heart hurts today, truly hurts for people who are not able. And we're living in some rough times, really rough times. And we need to be praying for all those around us who are not as fortunate as we are to be able to do the things that we need to do. I'm not talking about extras. I'm not talking about going on vacation and doing fun things. I'm talking about living, taking care of your vehicle, if you can even afford a vehicle, putting groceries on the table, buying medicine, the things you have to do. It's sad. It's very sad.
The amount of 18 to 30-year-olds that I see on this app bitching about how unaffordable life is in 2025 is wild to me. And I'm no boomer, I'm 42, but I will tell you there is a noticeable difference between people my age and people 18 to 30 now. And in all of these videos that I've seen, I've deduced it down to one thing. It's an I shouldn't have to mentality. Just this morning, I watched a TikTok of a guy that looked like he was 25 years old, bitching about how unaffordable life was while sitting in the front seat of his car, that he then explained in his rant that was costing him $850 per month. He then went on to explain in his rant to boomers that he shouldn't have to work harder or more
in order to drive a car that was safe and reliable.
And it's not about working hard. First, you got to sell that car. 850 is a lot of money. But it's not about working harder. When you go out there and do something like working harder at your 9 to 5, yeah, I shouldn't have to work harder here because who wants to? But if you start going out and knocking on doors and you're like, oh, I got a garbage can, like I'm gonna go knock on 30 more doors. Oh, I got 10 garbage cans today. I made $1,000 today. That type of working hard, if you do what you love, you never have to work a day in your life. That's true. And if you're doing something that it just feels better when it's yours, when it's my business. I went out and made this money. I didn't work for somebody else to make the money, right? I did it. It's a different type of work, y'all. You
For
take pride
reference,
in
I'm
it.
sitting here in my 2023 Chevy Silverado with 25,000 miles on it after working 16 more years than this guy. And my truck payment is right around $850. Guy, you do not need an $850 a month car. I'm telling you, that is the difference. It's the I shouldn't have to mentality. I was that guy's age, I had a 1-bedroom apartment. And yes, I know 1-bedroom apartments don't cost the same now as they did when I was his age. Shit is more expensive. I get it. But I also worked not 1, but 2 jobs. I didn't have an $850 a month car. I survived on Jack's Pizzas and ramen fucking noodles. While this guy's working maybe 1 job because he shouldn't have to work more than that. Probably eating out and getting DoorDash multiple times a week because he shouldn't have to eat like shit. Blah, blah, blah. It's all the same. What it comes down to is there's a shitload of people who think that they shouldn't have to live within their means to survive. They truly believe that they just deserve to have shit that they can't afford. Basic necessities to live a comfortable life now are $850 a month cars, apartments with stainless steel appliances and quartz fucking countertops, and 24-hour deliverable food. Y'all are soft. I'm not going to tell you need to work harder or more, but if you're not going to work harder or more, at least try to live within your means or learn how to budget. Or coming on TikTok and ranting about how unaffordable shit is from your brand new freaking car.
Want to know how I knew the economy was in pure shambles? This is the exact instance. It wasn't when everybody was saying, oh, inflation is going up when gas was so high. Nope. My friend and me were sitting down having a gentle conversation. I had $20 in my pocket. I said, hey, you want to go to Dollar Tree? He said, yeah. We go to Dollar Tree. I grabbed 20 items. Well, I grabbed 10. He grabs 10. So, naturally, I'm thinking we're going to walk out with 20 items. They ring me up for like $27.
You
I'm
call
confused.
taxes, my guy.
I say, what happened? Only got 20 items. She says, at the cash register, she says, oh, everything's $1.25. At that exact moment, I knew that the economy was in shatters. Dollar Tree has been a staple for so long that everything costs $1. I didn't care about $5 footlong. I didn't care about $1 drink from McDonald's. I didn't care
Remember that?
about
$1
$1
sweet tea?
McChicken. I didn't care about
Forgot
none of
about that.
I didn't care about a lick of that. I didn't care that the dollar menu from Taco Bell sucks now. That was unimportant. But when Dollar Tree, the place that's known for everything costing $1, increases price by 25 cents, that is a drastic increase on every item in that store. You're probably thinking to yourself, it's not that serious. It is that serious. If any other store increased the price of something by 25%, I would be flabbergasted. I'd be like, oh man, what is going on? That's a large jump. And sure, it happened with other stores. It happened with McDonald's. Sure, it was slow creep with McDonald's. The Big Mac started costing more money. Cheeseburgers start costing more. But that was gradual. That was okay. I didn't care about that. The Dollar Tree fiasco, because I shopped at Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree is where I got my dish soap. It's where I got my brooms. It's where I got my lint rollers. It's where I got my toothpaste, toothbrushes. That 25% increase, that turns $5 from 4 items. Well, $5 from 5 items into 4 items. $10 into 8 items. $15 into 12 items. Yeah, 12 items. Yeah, I'm doing the math right. It's insane. They just keep increasing the price. I was like, man, this is crazy. I'm so baffled. And we walked out with only like 13 items because we only had $20 bills. It's a big jump to lose that many items. We lost so much. The economy is in tatters right now. I am so upset how everything's costing more. We're getting paid less just for existing. It's getting weird, man. It's getting really weird.
It's funny, in society, we've gotten to a place where nobody can figure out how we went from a $100,000 house to a $500,000 house. Everybody wants to blame it on inflation. They want to say it's Trump's fault, it's Obama's fault, it's Biden's fault. Well, that ain't whose fault it is. I can tell you whose fault it is. It's your fault, and it's my fault. We've morphed into a society that's not satisfied with 1,200 square foot like your parents were. 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, 39 cents per square foot subway tile. And I ain't talking about that bougie tile either. I ain't talking about wavy, sparkly tile. I'm talking about 39 cents per square foot white subway tile and a $100 bathtub and a $39 kitchen sink. Now we spend $500 on a kitchen sink because we got to have a granite composite kitchen sink, and we spend $10 a square foot on our tile because the neighbor has that, and they blasted it on Facebook, and we feel less efficient because we don't have that
speaking the
tile.
truth, yo.
And we got to have a $2,000 bathtub with jets that hold bacteria and are nasty as hell. Nobody actually uses anyway, and we got to have a walk-in shower with 13 massaging body jets that we feel absolutely necessary, even though we ain't got the water pressure to push it. We've got it. We can take pictures of it, we can put it on social media, and we can brag to our peers about how awesome we are, and then they feel obligated to buy the same damn thing or outdo you, and then as time progresses, this becomes more of a problem progressively. It's that simple. It ain't Donald Trump's fault, and it ain't Biden's fault. It's your fault. We went from $100,000 on a house to $500,000 on a house because everybody's being too damn bougie. Now, I'm just as guilty of it. I've got nice shit. I like those things. Right now, I can afford those things at this point in life. May not be able to in 10 years. We all need to think about that. But nobody's fault but your own. Just keep that in mind.
We're increasingly realizing that the 25 and 26-year-old in America has been screwed by the large banks and the car companies like never before. You cannot buy a house when you have a $1,200 car payment, when you have a student loan that's $85,000, and you got credit card debt coming out your ears. Record credit card debt, record car debt, record debt.
Bro, I hate... That's the problem. That's the problem. The debt. That's why I say I'm anxious to see what my generation, the generation after me, looks like when it's 65 years old and it's ready to retire. Because nobody's putting money into a 401k right now. What is it going to look like at that time at 65? And there's no Social Security. We can't rely on that. 30 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now. I'm 35. 30 years from now, is there going to be Social Security? Think about it. They've been every year they talk about Social Security being gone. He's going to take away social every year.
How are y'all making it? No, literally, how are y'all making it? Because little backstory, I decided back in January that I was going to monetize on this app. Every dollar I made, no matter how big, how small, was going to go to a savings account, and that was going to be money for a down payment on our house. Because if you don't know, me, my husband, and our 2 kids are living with my parents. Spoiler alert, that's not happening. We're having to take that money I'm making and use it to get by until the next week. On top of my husband's income. My husband's making the most money he's ever made, and this is the brokest we've ever been. Make it make sense. I'm not a bougie bitch. I might get my lashes done, but my friends do my hair. I don't get my nails done. Like, I'm really not that high maintenance. We try to live within our means. We truly do. It's like no matter how much you don't go out to eat, no matter how much you don't spend money, you're still gonna be broke. Why? Because that is the world that we live in. So I know I'm not as educated as I should be when it comes to voting. All I know is that shit was a lot better 4 years ago. I could afford to breathe, and I had my own house. Right now, nobody can afford housing. Nobody can afford food. And if you can, congratulations, because you're far and few. So please, please, for the love of God, take that into consideration come November and make a change. Because I am tired. I am tired of living like this.
So I was just out on a walk right now, and check out these homes next to this path that I'm on. I was looking these homes up on Zillow, and you're looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of $615, $625, $650 in some cases for these really tiny houses.
Where was he at?
I mean, they're not very big. You can see the properties they're sitting on are tiny.
Yeah.
And yet people want $650,000 for these homes at what, 6.25% interest rates? Like, no No wonder nobody can afford anything.
Okay, serious question real quick. How are we supposed to afford life? I have 3 kids. And my husband and I both have full-time incomes, and I still am puzzled. Like, it's an enigma. Like, for real, why? I just left Walmart and got the bare minimum for groceries, like bare minimum, and cheap stuff, baby. We ain't eating salmon and steak, baby. We eating hamburger helper, some Doritos, like we getting like the Dino Nuggies, okay? Great value brand.
I'm so hungry right now.
Now, I did get 3 pairs of kids' shoes because my kids are starting back to school and they need some new sneakers. But tell me why I got the bare minimum in groceries and 3 pairs of sneakers, and I'm coming out just shy of $300. There's no way. This is crazy. Like, I had children on the understanding that if I worked hard and put my pennies away, that we would be okay. And now I'm feeling not okay. And then my intrusive thoughts just come in and they start thoughting, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I have 3 kids that are all very close together, which means they're all going to be in college at the same time.
Ooh.
How in the am I supposed to send them to college? Now, don't get me wrong. I know that, like, it's completely normal for people to just take out student loans and do all that. But I was lucky enough that my mother paid my way through college semester by semester, like the strong single mom she is, by making sacrifices because she didn't want me to have all that debt. And while I am not naive enough to know that I may not be able to do that for 3 children, I still hope to be able to help, you know, ease that burden. And I'm like, huh? How? Literally how? Mama, I don't know how much harder mama can hustle, okay? Mama is making the moolah, and the moolah is not spreading thinly, and I can't make it reach all corners. It's crazy.
So your mom paid your college so you didn't come out of college debt. But from what it looks like, that vehicle, it's got a sunroof. So that's telling me it's a nice vehicle, probably an SUV because you have 3 children. That's your problem. Don't go into debt. Don't get these expensive SUVs that cost $80,000, $90,000, $100,000, right? That's the problem, y'all. That's the problem. That's why the middle class stays the middle class. Student loan debt, credit card debt, car payments. If you can avoid those 3 and figure out how to get a good income without that student loan, you're well set off. You are very well set off. I got a 2007 Toyota 4Runner out there, paid $8,000 for it cash. It runs great. I love it. You know why I love it? Because it's mine. I'm not paying on it. You know what my car insurance costs? $35. That's my car insurance. Liability. You don't need full coverage on a car like that. Just liability. $35 for my car insurance. You gotta be smarter, y'all. You gotta be smarter. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I tried not to do too much talking, but I feel like I gave some gems, y'all. I gave you guys some gems on how to go out there and make a little extra money, extra 500, an extra 1,000. You don't gotta go DoorDash. You don't go door to door, y'all. I promise you, if you go knock on 100 doors, you'll get at least 4 yeses, and that's $100, right? Not even 100 doors. Go knock on 1 block. Walk down 1 block and walk back across the street down that block. You'll get 4 houses that say yes. And that's $100, y'all. And there's garbage cans everywhere that need cleaning, right? And if you live in the right spot, you might even get a driveway cleaning, right? You might get a bigger job, right? So that's what I highly suggest to you guys. Anyone out there struggling, just go door to door and clean garbage cans with a pressure washer. That's my suggestion to you guys. But I'm gonna get out of here. I'll get these videos edited, uploaded for you guys. This is Segovia After Dark, right? I forgot we had to change the name. I felt like a lot of you guys were mistaking this channel as my big channel, right? Like I said, don't come over here with that conspiracy mindset. This is different over here. I'm not that 24/7. I'm that on the channel. Over here, we do it different. I'm gonna talk more. People that do these types of videos, if you don't watch them, then you don't understand. They talk a lot during these videos, right? Try to give insight, try to give knowledge, try to give tips. So that's what we're going to do over here. We're going to talk. And if you don't like that, be gone, right? It's okay. You know what I'm saying? But this is a reaction channel. We react. We don't just sit here and be quiet. If you want that, this content is free on TikTok. Download the app. There you go. This is Segovia After Dark. I'm signing out of the man cave. I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.